Okay, welcome everyone. As a good Erev Shabbos to you and a good Erev Rosh Chodesh as we learn the fourth parak of Zevachim with Mishna Gimel and Mishna Dalet, continuing our education in preparation for the rebuilding of the Beis Hamikdash as we learn all about Kachim. We are sponsored by the Fisher family, Lila Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbi Shlomo ben Avram Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain. We are sponsored Lili Nishmas, David ben Chaim, L'Refuah Shalem Afel Yomis ben Chayesor, Yaakov ben Basi Leah, for the Schus of Avram Yom ben Ish ben Malki Yudis, by Yod Klugman and family for their Parnasa Gzunta Nachas, L'Refuah Shalema, for Avigdor Aryeh ben Rivka, and for Hinda bas Chayesor, Chana bas Shashabina, Rivka bas Shira Leah, Moshe Meir ben Esther Fradel, Yitzchak ben Sion ben Dusha, and Meir ben Chayesor. They should have a Refuah Shalema b'Seich Shar Chela Yisrael. Now, Pigel is when we have a machshava, one of the four avodas Adam, to do the achila chutz l'zmanai or the haktorah chutz l'zmanai after its permitted time. But the only thing that becomes forbidden with the penalty of kares with Pigel is that which is permitted. The permitter itself does not have an Isser Pigel, and therefore the following, you're not chayav because of pigel if you eat it, even if you had a machshav of chutz l'zmanai. Hakaimetz, the handful of the mincha which is taken and smoken up on the mizbeach, because that itself is a matter; it doesn't become permitted. Also, valavina, the frankincense, which is also smoked up on the mizbeach. The same thing is true with akteris, the incense. The incense doesn't get permitted. Uminchas kehanim, a meal offering of the kehanim, is completely burnt on the mizbeach, so it does not become permitted. Uminchas kei Mashiach, that's true also with the mincha of the Kohen Gadol, the minchas chavitin, where it has 12 loaves, 6 in the morning, 6 in the evening, which is completely burnt. Vadam, the blood, which is put on the mizbech, it itself is a matir. Vanisachim abam b'fnei atzman, libations that come by itself, nothing of it gets permitted. It's poured down completely to the sheet and divrei meir. Also nisachim that come with the animal, because it's not shot that the dam of the animal permits the nisachim, because the nisachim could be brought even 10 days later, so it's separate from the animal. Now, loig shemen shel mitzayir, the log of oil of the mitzayir. This is interesting. Mitzayir, who upon being purified, has to bring 3 korbanos. One of them is an oshim, accompanied with the loig shemen. The oshim, the blood, which is put on the big toe, big thumb, and the ear of the mitzayir, and also is sprinkled. Then the loig shemen is also put on his big toe, his big ear, and his right ear, and his big thumb. The oil is also sprinkled towards the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and then it is permitted for the Kahanim to eat. So therefore, it says that the loig shemen is not permitted by the Reb Shimon Aimer, Ein chayav and alav mishum pigel. You're not chayav for that loig of oil if there was a machsheva in the oshim of chutz l'zmanai. Reb Meir Aimer, Reb Meir says no, chayav and alav mishum pigel, because the dam of the oshim is matir, the remainder of the oil to be used by the kahanim. Shedam oshim matirai. V'chol sheyesh loy matirin, anything that has a permitter, bein la'odam, bein la'mazbeach, whether it permits it to be eaten or permits it to go on the mizbeach, hayom and olav mishum pigel. So here, with that's something that's permitted to go on the mizbeach, there could be pigel. Ha'oila, even though the burnt offering, all the basar and everything goes on the mizbeach, that's why it's called oila, it's kula kalul. But dama materes b'sara l'mizbeach, the blood permits its meat to be put on the mizbeach, and it permits its hide to be able to be used by the kahanim, the oira l'kahanim. Oilas ha'oif, that completely goes on the mizbeach. Dama matir es b'sar l'mizbeach. The blood permits the meat to go on the mizbeach, and therefore if somebody would eat it, there would be pigel. Chatas ha'oif, where some of the meat is also eaten, the sin offering, bird offering, dama matir es b'sar l'kahanim. Now, param nisrafim u'seirim nisrafim. This is a big chiddush. The par nisrafim is the par helam davar shel tzibur, the par of the Kayim Mashiach. The sar is a sar l'avodah zarah, for example. Dama matir eseg merei and likarev. Their blood, which is offered b'pnim, inside, permits the sacrificial portions to be offered up, and therefore there would be pigel on those sacrificial portions. Reb Shimon says, no. There's only pigel for blood that's applied on the Mizbeach HaChitzon. These special korbanos, the par Kayim Mashiach, the par Helm Davar Shel Tzibur, the par Yom HaKippurim, the Sar of Yom Kippur, the Sar of Avodah Zarah, since their blood is offered b'fnim in the Kodesh, and in the case of Yom Kippur, in the Kodesh Kodashim, there's no pigel. That's Reb Shimon's Chiddush. Reb Shimon Aimer, Kol she'eino al Mizbeach HaChitzon kishlamim, if the blood is not put in the outer altar like shlamim, where it says the halacha of pigel, ein chayavin alav mishum pigel. You're not chayav because of pigel. Okay, Rabbi Yisai, another two Mishnayos in the books as we advance our knowledge of Kachim. This is a very big investment for the learning of all of Shas, where Kachim is referred to all over Shas. We also want to remind you that we will have Motzi Shabbos Shir 10 minutes earlier, the Daf Yomi 2 blot at 10:35. Next week, getting earlier, Daf Yomi at 8:45. Next week, if you happen to be in Lakewood, Monday evening at 6:45, we're making a siyum on Seder Nezikin for the Mishna Yomis. You're invited to have a fleishach barbecue at 1 Valley Stream Lane. That's the home of Mr. and Mrs. Gedalia Engel. It is also a Suda in honor of my father's Yotzeit, Gimel Av, and you're welcome to come. If anybody wants to be a sponsor, you want to sponsor the Siyam, you want to sponsor next week's Chumash Shir, 718-916-3100, rmmwsi@aol.com. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful Shabbos.